Well, tonight at the Millbridge Speedway, it's a balmy 30 degrees, which will help keep that Busch Light beer cold for the first time in a long time. Tonight it's the DNQ Nationals featuring the Josh Long Memorial from the Millbridge Speedway in Salisbury, North Carolina. We've got tons of young fans here checking out all the action on track while the karts practice and qualify, and we've got a full field, and we're excited to see how all these races tonight play out. Jimmy Jingles runs a massive karting operation, and he is down with the year. Well, this massive operation down here in the garage here at DNQ is part of Jimmy Jingles' operation. Now, I let you have it, dumbass named Jimmy Jingles. I didn't know who you were or the name. Like, why are people checking in as Jimmy Jingles? Tell me a little bit about this operation and all these karts that you have here today.
Well, it started about 15 years ago as a bunch of friends having a great time, and we decided to take racing a little bit more serious because we were all racers. Fast forward 15 years, this is no different than the same collection of friends. It's just the group has grown, the group has changed, but the group has stayed largely the same of people that love racing. Every single person in this lineup shares that same passion, and that's just what we're all about.
You guys bring the party. There's subwoofers over here. There's music going on all the time. I mean, you got an impressive stable. Ryan Vargas is here who runs Xfinity. How do you get these guys into these karts, and like how does that process work into getting all the equipment, all the people together?
Well, I've spent a long time in NASCAR. I've worked with Ryan. You'll see Garrett Smithley running around here. I spotted for him last year. A lot of these people are all people we've crossed paths with and had a great time. And you just touch their life in a small way, and it spirals into something far larger than one interaction. You just try to leave it a little bit better than you found it, and every single person here is pulling together to leave this world a little bit better than we found it.
Zach Fowler won the ARCA race, last race that we had here. Is that kind of your hot shoe right now, the guy coming in here and starting to show some progress?
Well, that is 100% Alex Kirk's fault. We tried everything we could do to slow Zach down. He even hid magnets on the gas pedal to stop travel, and we couldn't do it. Zach just has the eye of the tiger. Nothing we can do about that.
What are you expecting here today out of this stable?
Way more fun than we deserve.
Jimmy Jingles, the man who is in charge of this massive operation down here in the DNQ garage, hoping for a good night out of all of his drivers. Thank you very much. Always great to see someone who owns a lot of karts here in the DNQ Karting Series as practice is going on and qualifying for tonight's All-Star race events. Let's go down and talk to the infamous Moonhead, who is trying to make more than 2 laps in tonight's feature. Well, you may know the infamous Moonhead from the internet streaming services. I'm guessing some kind of moonshine. I don't know very much about you, so I'm getting to learn. Tell me about coming here to DNQ. You came here at Landon Huffman last time, didn't make the show, ran a couple laps, had some issues. Seems like you've got that figured out and you're ready to go here today.
Yeah, last time we came out here, the rear bumper flew off, and then we got it back on, and I got stuck in the mud, and the B-main ended, so that was bad, but Garrett's got me a nice piece here tonight, and we're going to go out there and send it.
So talk about racing in DNQ. You made 1 lap. What is the atmosphere here for you, like during practice and before that? What did you get out of coming here to race a little bit?
It's crazy. I mean, it was just wide open. Somebody like climbed the wall on lap 1. People were scattering everywhere, and I had a lot of fun in that 1 lap. I didn't think it was possible to have that much fun in like 15 seconds or whatever, but it was a great time.
What class are you going to try to make tonight? What's the main goal here?
Heavy, so I think I'm built for that, so we're just going to stick to what we're good at and go out there with the big boys and see what happens.
Moonhead trying to have a good day here, running more than 1 lap here tonight. He's going to show everybody what he's got before this night's over. Well, good luck to Moonhead tonight as he battles all these drivers in the heavy division for the Pro Cup and Busch Series. Another driver who has run multiple big races is back in DNQ trying to make another start on these treaded tires is Grayson Brookshire. He's down with Eddie right now. Let me know when you're ready. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're down here at the number 74 machine, Todd Miller sponsored of Grayson Brookshire. Grayson, you've run a lot of big races in go-kart racing all over the country. You come here to DNQ at the last race that we had. Explain to people who don't run this very often what that was like going from those big shows to coming out here and messing around on treaded tires.
Well, first of all, I come out here thinking I was going to dominate, and I come out here and got humbled. This whole treaded tire deal is, you got to learn it. You got to groove tires, sight tires. It's something that I've never done before, and we came back this week with the tires grooved up and see if we can do a little better.
Describe the competition here. Like you said, you thought you were going to be really good, and then you got humbled. These are guys that just race this class alone. They don't race nationally. What was it like racing against that group of people that already had all that experience?
I'm gonna tell you, there's probably 4 or 5 guys out here that really have a hang on the track and the tires and just this whole series altogether. And then there's a lot in the back that's just never going to have a chance. But everybody's out here to have fun. I just come out here and see if I can run with them, you know.
Who helps you get this thing to the racetrack? This is a really nice looking cart. Who helped you bring it here?
Yeah, so my dad, he comes with me anywhere I go since I was 12 years old. I'm 38 years old. We've been doing it a long time. Brandon Werrett, he's actually going to run this go-kart tonight in the Cup Dash Series. He's not been on a go-kart in a long time, so that'll be fun to watch. And we'll just see what he can do. That'll be fun.
Grayson Brookshire looking for a good run here tonight in the Cup Series All-Star race, hoping to make it in. Well, earlier tonight, guys, we had All-Star qualifying, and that entailed a pit stop after these guys made laps, and man, it was very interesting.
It was. Here we come in, nice slow entry, made sure we got in the box. You see various methods of pit stop there. We got a couple lug nuts on. The number 4 car there. Here we got 3 crew members out, 2 jacking it up. We had 1 on the back before. Lots of side action, but here's our fastest stop of the night.
Ryan Ayers in the 71 JZ. They had the best stop. Didn't look like they had a lot of lug nuts on that right rear. That was living dangerously.
Cutting down those tenths of a second is key for these qualifying runs. You don't want to have to race back in the shit, so putting it P1 with just that single lug nut on there paid off for them, and hopefully it'll pay dividends later this evening.
It was very exciting to stand and feel the energy in the center of the racetrack. The carts would pass the start-finish line. You look up at the scoreboard. Ryan Ayers, your fastest qualifier for tonight's race. SRI Pole Award goes to the fastest qualifier for the Cup Series with Dash Tires, and tonight that is Mike Contarino. He'll share the front row with Chris Lawson, and it's going to be a very interesting feature to watch. We have not done this before, so it'll be fun to see who picks up on it.
Chris Lawson seems to be fast in everything he jumps in. 2 more guys that are fast all the time, too. Bobby Showtime and Bad Kitty Adam Welch.
Tallahassee in the unusual silver cart, and Mickey Roop in the 8.
Zach Campbell and Grayson Brookshire will round out the field. I'm going to show you the rules for the Dash Series itself. See what they're doing tonight with higher horsepower, so we might have to slide them around a little bit there with 0 stagger. These guys are definitely not used to it. We've got Lawson, I think, using this as a test session for tonight's Josh Long Memorial Race. We'll see how it plays out for these guys. Interested to see. We might try to do this next year with the Cup Series. Have a couple nights where they run these small tires all the way around. We'll see how this plays out as Showalter has an in-cart camera for tonight's event. And interested to see how it plays out. Might be boring, might be great. You never know.
Well, last time out, we were talking about how Contarino's had sort of a resurgence as of late. As we take the green, Lawson on the high side, Contarino threatened by the 73, the SKE card on the bottom here, but we're side by side. Leaders still battling going into 3.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this turns out. It's kind of like an outlaw street stock class where you got way too much power on skinny little tires. These guys, they're 4 wide already. It's turning out to be pretty darn good.
These Cup guys, and I see Chris Lawson make the jump and buy a clone engine, I would be a little nervous because he is really fast, and if we watch him run for the Cup Championship next year, he's going to be somebody that's going to contend for that championship, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. So far, he's got that setup figured out. He's been a master of many different classes this year, and it looks like first try in this one, he's probably had that thing on the pull down many late nights as we got 1 off in the infield there. Can't really tell who that is.
Stephen Tauges down in the infield, out for the night. But man, you got to love Showalter out here running again, our Dash Series champion from this year with Mickey Roop right behind him. It's got to throw you off a little bit, JZ, by changing the power.
Yeah, you could see in that in turns 3 and 4 there, old Showtime putting on a show, throws it in there with everything he's got, crosses his wrist, gets a bite in the right rear and drives off the corners. He takes the 3rd spot there. He's hauling the mail, but a little more yaw than you usually see with a go-kart. It reminds me of when we used to run the High Line here at Millbridge before people started stuffing it in the fence, but it's a little bit different. I think you drive the go-kart with the right foot a little bit more than you do with the stagger, and it puts on a good show for the fans as we get a shot of the Bad Kitty here doing everything he can to try to catch Showalter, but that right front just isn't doing what he wants it to do as he shoves up the racetrack in 3 and 4.
Really cold out here tonight, Bill, and temperatures are about 30 degrees. Wanted to start this night earlier, but Jeremy Burnett would have had to get out of bed, and that was difficult to do, so we're here running late tonight.
Yeah, you can see these carts. They're a handful. Even the leader there, Chris Lawson, lots of counter steer. These things overpowered, what we love to see. You know, we love to see these drivers out here working hard, open cockpits in these machines so you can see exactly what the drivers are doing. Lawson with those white gloves so you can see if he's shoving the nose or if he's a little bit too free. Right now that thing is stuck good, and all clear racetrack out in front of him for a few more laps.
One thing you can see, if you look at Connerito's go-kart entry, he really seems to be carrying that left front more than Lawson does. Lawson turns in, still gets good weight transfer, but it's not really rolling over hard on the right front the way Connerito is. And they're both fast, they're both up front. It's just different to see how both karts are making speed as we get another shot of Showalter doing everything he can to hang on to P3 here in front of the bad kitty.
Yeah, I can see that left front is floating quite a bit, JZ, now that you mention it. But watching these drivers drive these things, they're sawing away like we're sawing at the debt right now. And inflation, just sawing away at an inflation. So it's good to see these guys out here just getting it done. And it's got to be hard to drive. I know Lawson's got to make a ton of laps tonight. And when you start off like this, it's going to be a long night for him as a driver.
Some of those drivers like Chris Lawson, Kyle Busch, you know, those guys, they can run 3-4 races in a weekend. Lawson, he's just trying to get some laps. I don't know if he's testing for a little bit later in the night or what, but I mean, everything's going right so far. Let's just hope it doesn't screw him up for later on in the evening.
The get out of the way flag thrown to Grayson Brookshire. Not his night tonight as we're closing in quickly on our 5 to go caution here as we go on board with Showalter, who can at least see the leader on the same front stretch and back stretch as Lawson's checked out.
Yeah, you can check
Normally
out.
this is somebody.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Normally this is somebody that's running up front all by himself, but tonight it looks like that camp needs to do a little bit more work, maybe make some chassis changes to that thing. We looked at some spindles earlier. That's probably something that would be really effective here with these 4 small tires.
Yeah, it's these guys having to decide if they want to, as we come to our 5 to go caution, do you want to sell out for the experimental class as we trial it for the 2023 season, or bring a whole different go-kart to run just this class? Some guys have the budget, some people don't. We'll see what 2023 brings as we're back on the gas here. Connerito fighting hard on the inside. Lawson hanging tough on the outside. We're 2 by 2 as Showtime tries to make his name known here. We're on board with Showtime. We're 3 wide. It's anyone's race here as we head into turns 1 and 2.
Connerito feeds Lawson a right rear. That shoves him up the racetrack. Lawson gets into the backstretch wall. Connerito takes the lead.
Mike Connerito coming alive as of late in the season as the kitty goes ahead and makes sure Lawson isn't going to win this race. That was bad.
How Ty Gibbs of him.
2 laps to go for Mike Connerito as Chris Lawson's going to dominate this thing and just let the bad kitty have it. Welcome to the Cup Series, Chris Lawson, as a white flag is out for Connerito. Doesn't look like anybody's going to touch the other past Dash Series champion in the field. The inaugural Dash Series champion will come through and take the checkered flag here in this exhibition race.
Connerito backed into that one, huh?
You go whenever. Well, Mike Conterino, your winner down here. You're a former Dash Series champion. It's got to be a little bit more of a handful with a lot more power underneath the proverbial hood on this thing.
It's a handful, but it's a lot more fun with a little bit more horsepower. So, but yeah, besides that, I mean, it handles the same as the big tires, and the recharge, these SKE recharges, you can't beat them right now.
Talk about you and Chris there with that 5 to go caution. Y'all had a heck of a race there for the lead.
Yeah, me and Lawson, we battled it out, and he took the top, and that was a mistake, so I could hold my own in the bottom.
So you saying you wasn't a better kart, you just had the smarter decision.
That's right.
Hey, sometimes better to be lucky than good. Second place kart winner here today, Mike Conterino. Well, Chris Lawson down here, championship winning crew chief, makes smart calls for a living, but not the smartest call there with that 5 to go caution.
I came here to win the other race, so I wanted to try that and just get a feel for it. So obviously didn't work right, but it was still cool. It was a good race. At least we tried to put on a show, me and Mike, so it was cool. It was fun.
Chris Lawson, he's going to go back to the drawing board for this race coming up. Adam Welch might not be the best interview, but he's doing what Adam Welch does best. 3 for Dale down here. 3rd place finish for Adam.
Yeah, that's not bad. It was the first night with this class, and I hope everybody had fun. I hope people watched and want to gain a little interest in it and maybe make it something next year. But for now, it was for fun, and we'll see what comes from it.
Just because you're wanting to gain interest in this class, is that why you didn't take anybody out tonight?
Yeah, I don't want to piss anybody off before we start the series, you know?
Adam Welch, 3rd place finish.
2nd annual Josh Long Memorial. The SRI Pole Award goes to Dylan Capello in the 38 machine. He will start from the pole with the Josh Long Memorial cart driven by Ryan Ayers. And they'll be in the front row for tonight's 71-lap feature.
We're number 2, Ronnie Carroll and Zach Campolonia.
In row 3, we have Isaac Harris and Jonathan Stewart, who also has our in-car camera tonight.
Jenna Welsh and Robert Showalter in the next row.
Cody Daramels and Jeremy Murphy.
Next row, we got Tatujas and Blaine Donahue in the 48.
Leland Lambert and Mickey Roop, a couple of people who know each other very well doing this one.
Gage Painter and Ashton Johnson, row number 16.
Row 17, Casey Meyer and Alfred Hidalgo making another DNQ start tonight.
A couple Dales and then Richard Diebold and Joe Henning will round out the field for tonight's 71-lap Josh Long Memorial. Here are the rules for this race tonight. Same as what we just saw in the last race, except they're on a Predator engine. You know, this has been a very good series throughout the years. And, Josh Long competed in this series quite a bit. It's the 2nd annual race in his memory. Jonathan Stewart will have the DNQ in-car camera. But what a great event, guys. What a great way to honor Josh, a past racer in DNQ. And great competitor. Definitely miss him still. And this race is for his legacy.
Yeah, it is, and it's always a great race. You got to hang in there for a long time. 71 laps is a long race, especially here in DNQ. 71 laps around Millbridge here. You know, track's going to change all throughout the race. You know, you've got to keep all 4 fenders on this thing if you're going to make it to the end. And we know tempers can run high, so just making it to that last lap in one piece is going to be tough.
See how many mechanical failures we have and how many driver fatigues we have as the green flag is out. 71 laps for tonight's feature. Dylan Capello leads the field into 1.
Big run by Josh Long to the outside of Dylan Capello. Capello able to hold the flying Ryan Ayers off in that Josh Long Memorial cart. Out to a big lead, those two, but there's a hornet's nest back for, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, we got Stewart, we got Roop, we got Tauges all banging into each other. Someone almost sent it off the wall there. That was a little sketchy, but Capello showing his stuff, starting to build about a cart length lead on the field here. As one gets around in the middle, 2, 3 of them tied up. Unfortunate accident to start off the evening.
Jen Welsh goes around. Close Gage Painter as well. Just gets loose there. Little loose. Looks like the track had a lot of banking there, and she just lost the left rear. Let's take a look at it again from Jonathan Stewart's in-car camera.
You see that dirt fly up? I think the pressures were still low. Splitter got on the ground there and just got away from her.
Green flag back out for the pussy modified driver Dylan Capello from out west. We know he ran those pussy modifieds with the small tires around him. Was really good at it, though. I know that he won quite a few races and a championship.
Yeah, but that's like winning in ARCA. I mean, not a whole lot of competition, not really that hard. We got somebody in the fence right here, apparently going straight's hard for him.
Gage Painter had an issue. Rode the fence. Blake Harris is like, oh my gosh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Blake Harris, our Victory Lane reporter and flagman for tonight. So he's going to wave the green. We're back underway. It is 30 degrees out, and these guys are throwing cautions left and right on a 71-lap race. So hopefully we'll get it together.
Doesn't look good.
Ronnie Carroll takes advantage of a bunch of guys checking up, ends up P3, but pushes way up the racetrack. And we got Isaac Hayes putting down the Fortnite controller, and he's up to P3 already tonight. Looking for him to make some sick edits on some walls as we're on board with Jonathan Stewart in the 92.
If he wins, he might be flossing as the carts are around. Jonathan Stewart goes around. Worst feeling in DNQ ever. Let's take a look at the replay, see what happened. Just Mickey Roop got loose in the same spot. The exact same spot for Mickey Roop. Collects Blaine Donahue and a couple other racers.
A little bit of black ice down there on the inside of turns 3 and 4. These guys got to maybe run up a lane, but as we see Josh Long try to take Dylan Capello down to the inside, make him hit that black ice, but right now Josh Long hits that.
It's Ryan Ayers, man. It's Ryan Ayers.
I know. It's the Josh Long
is here in spirit, baby.
Josh Long machine.
That's how you know you're DNQ OG, when the dude's here in spirit and you just feel it enough on camera that you're calling his name out.
He had the white helmet too and everything. That's what's so funny about it. It's hilarious. Oh, Ryan Ayers out to the lead in the Josh Long machine. We'll say it's Josh Long. Screw it.
Yeah.
Ronnie Carroll's still hanging tough there in the top 10. Yeah, and looking at this field so far, everybody seems to still be running. And we're part of that field as well, but now Dylan Capello to second. Isaac Harris may be flossing. I don't know what else you do on Fortnite if he gets a top three in this thing.
Is teabagging something you can do in Fortnite?
I believe it is.
Sure can.
I believe I've heard that in the past.
Yeah.
He's underneath Capello. He's moving up a spot here as we head into 1 and 2. Good run by Hayes tonight so far. Not taking no shit from the elders, although is he dragging something behind his go-kart?
Yes, his bumper. And that bumper is hanging on like any Republican in any kind of vote right now. It's barely hanging on. And you need that to race in DNQ. So once the caution comes out, he is probably going to get black flagged over that. And the one thing I've learned from Isaac Harris, not really sure if he's legal. There's been a lot of questions with that driver and that card as well. So doesn't look like it's going to be a problem for him very soon as we go on board with Jonathan Stewart.
Stewart got to make his way back up through the field as we got a caution out. I bet it's for that bumper that was hanging off.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll be the end of the night for Isaac Harris. The Democrat mail-in ballots got him. So
Yeah.
They always do.
tough break for Isaac Harris. We go green. We got Ayers on the bottom or Josh Long, Dylan Capello on the outside, Showalter, Campolonia hanging in there tough, and Jeremy Murphy. Holy crap. Been doing really well lately as Campolonia tries to make it 3 wide, but Jeremy Murphy definitely opening some eyes. He's come alive, too, at the end of this year.
He has Ronnie Carroll running up there on the top. Carroll Tractor Trailer Supply, sponsor of the DNQ series. He's holding on to the top 5, making it tough on these boys. He's one that I'm watching. He's got a lot of racing experience, a lot of long racing experience. You know, he can get around places for 71 laps. Let's just see if he's got the stamina to last that long.
Struggled this year, but tonight, Jay-Z, seems like he's got it finally figured out here in this Dash Series. Treaded tires are not his forte. He is a prep racer, but glad to see him out here in DNQ trying to get after it in these treads, and seems like he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it just takes a little while of figuring out what doesn't work, and inevitably you arrive at everything else you haven't tried should work. You throw that on the go-kart, and all of a sudden you start making speed. As we have a fantastic battle at the front. People are putting down their walking tacos from the concession stand, and they're cheering Capello. They're cheering Ryan Ayers as he's trying to hang on, but that top line is starting to come in. We see most drivers moving up top. People that turn underneath can't seem to get it done, as demonstrated by Bobby Showtime now.
Top 5 all over each other, Bill, and this is the racing we're talking about here in DNQ. The pressures are up, the noses are off the ground. It's straight up racing time, max downforce.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski really fighting Ronnie Carroll for that 5th spot. Carroll trying to give Showtime a shove to get underneath Josh Long. Showtime needs that help. It looks like on that bottom groove, you need to line up if you're going to make that work. Top just too strong, but Josh Long. Oh, no! Gets fed a right
Ryan Ayers
side by
was really
Keselowski.
going for the cushion there. Jump the cushion.
Yeah, I guess
wow,
so.
that
If
was
there's
an
a cushion
impressive
in the middle
move
of the
right there.
if I'm Ryan Ayers, it's taking every ounce of self-control not to put both Carroll and Campolonia in the wall right now. I'd be on full tilt, as the Fortnite players say, and I'd be losing my mind right now. But good at him keeping it together. He's still got his shot as we're back on board with Jonathan Stewart. Let's check out, Bill, what this racetrack's doing right now.
Yeah, right now, Stuart, you can see that ultra black groove right through the middle of the racetrack. That's where the grip is. Stewart's trying to keep all 4 tires right in there. Struggling a little bit, got the air taken off the nose by the carts in front of him running side by side. So he's got to just pull out a little bit, something that he's never done before. Try to get some clean air on that nose to make that thing stick.
What I love seeing is it's just like the rotors at Richmond. You start seeing the exhaust glow on these carts, and that's when you know we're getting into these long runs.
And this, being the jewel of the South that Millbridge is, you can see the progressive banking that's built into it. Very reminiscent of the old, winter heat series back at Tucson back in the day, where guys would run on the flat bottom, medium banked middle, and a little bit more banking on the top. The guys really have to put that small right rear as Ayers feeds Campolonia a left rear there and tries to take the spot away. Guys are really having to lean on that banking to find grip tonight as the temperatures are so cold.
Not only did we just see a little bit of street justice, but hanging on the right rear of somebody off the corner is like being in the middle of Harlem at about 1:30 in the morning. It's just a place you really don't want to be, and it's a little sketchy.
At the end of the month. It's tough.
Blake Harris surveying the racing over here. Him and Kyle McGowan, probably the 2 best flagmen we have in the DNQ series. But don't look now. Ronnie Carroll making a run up to the 2nd position. Looks like he may have something for Dylan Capello. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Ronnie Carroll didn't prep his tires for this race, so they're hanging on a little bit longer than he's used to. He's got the experience with the long races like we talked about before. It's coming in now. I don't even know if we're halfway or where I am right now because I'm 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey in. So I'm just along for the ride, just like Ronnie Carroll.
Dylan Capello trying to watch that arm on that heat. You can see it's getting really close. This battle's going on, but while we're watching this, Jay-Z, we know we're going to go side by side. We're going to go to the tech garage. We see that heat is an issue for Dylan Capello, but one thing that these drivers want to do to get more heat in the engine is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, tape. It's a really simple tuning device, but on a cold night tonight, it's very necessary. You want to make sure that the fuel is detonating at the precise moment. You want that cylinder head, you want that internal temperature to be just right and fire correctly. If you look at the arrow here at Millbridge tonight.
What Ronnie Carroll needs to do, Bill, is make that move to get more air on his nose, to get more downforce and make the pass.
He does. You can see right here as he's jammed up his ass, there's no air on the front of that car. All he's got to do is poke that nose out.
We'll be right back after this break.
You really need to make the tape colors blue and yellow like the Ukraine flag.
That'd be so subtle. It'd be so good.
Yeah.
Stand with Ukraine.
Oh, we'll totally. Let's just drop that here. Let's just drop that. We'll just. I stand with Ukraine.
If I get that dirt cart back together, I'm doing a Ukraine paint scheme. That settles it right now. White body, blue and white striping everywhere. I'm just gonna ask people for donations and spend it on beer.
You ready? The Josh Long Memorial, DNQ Nationals, here at the Millbridge Speedway. We are almost halfway in this beautiful event in the memory of Josh Long. We in the DNQ series, we are watching this race. And we're standing with Ukraine as Dylan Capello is trying to keep his arm from melting down. And speaking of melting down, we're watching a big momentous run getting built here, and Ronnie Carroll could probably rebuild Ukraine with the run that he's building.
Ronnie Carroll can taste it, like, Hunter Biden sniffing out the crack cocaine. He knows it's right there. He's inside. He's making a move on Capello. Can he make it stick? The inside hasn't been the place to be all night. No, he's quite the gentleman. Very Ronald Reagan of him, lifting, falling back in line, and not just feeding his right front into Capello's left rear.
Capello hanging on for a little bit longer like the January 6th commission, so let's see what Ronnie Carroll can do. The walls are closing in. He doesn't have much longer left.
I think I just saw the Ukraine flag waved at a cart that was too slow. Let's see it again if he waves it. There it is, the Ukraine flag being waved to the 92 machine. Go ahead and give us $8 trillion and move out of the way, please. Let this happen. As we are watching the biggest money laundering scheme go on here at the Millbridge Speedway. Stand with Ukraine.
Are you going to call it out of the driver's meeting from now on?
Right? The Ukraine flag is flown. Give us $600 and move out of the way. It's for your own good.
We're going to pay everyone at the pay window via Venmo now.
The Millbridge Speedway will own Donbass by the time this production is over with.
Right.
No doubt. Is Ronnie Carroll just absolutely hunting down all the carts that are getting the Ukraine flag thrown at them and the back bumper of Dylan Capello. He is shelling that rear bumper right now.
I can't help but think of the links here as we pray and our thoughts and prayers with all the people of the Ukraine as they get rich off of our tax dollars, that Vladimir Zelensky showing up to Congress in sweatpants and a sweatshirt is the most DNQ thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
so
like
I stand with Ukraine, launder all that money, don't hate the player, hate the game, and, fight the man.
You wouldn't get a $100,000 loan wearing that.
John Fetterman would, and he'd get voted best dressed.
Oh, man. Capello hanging on strong. He's hanging on like the Republican vote, but I have a feeling that these mail-in ballots are coming real soon.
Oh, yeah,
Ronnie Carroll's got a tractor trailer supply full of mail-in ballots about to hit Dylan Capello.
They're printed on the wrong size paper, but they count anyway.
Yeah.
Ronnie Carroll, he's had a lull in 2022, right? At 2018, 2019, he was one of the people to beat his errors. He's getting everything he can handle from Tauges. Tauges is just driving his rear end off tonight. Ayers has said, I've had enough of this shit. Feeds him to the right front. Tries to get by as they head through 1 and 2. He can't complete the pass. It's been a theme all night. Bottom feeders aren't succeeding. You've got to run the top to find some speed.
You've got to wonder if that contact with the wall did anything to that right front suspension as Ronnie Carroll hooks his bumper on the left front of Capello, and he is going to take the lead and defeat the Nazis in Ukraine as he is now back to the front.
Ray Epps just took the stand and everything went down for Dylan Capello as we go on board with Stanley. Still trying to work his way back up through the field after that early spin. He's falling back in dirty air all the time. Can't get any speed out of this thing. I mean, it looks like it's handling okay. Just doesn't have that roll speed that you need. He's running the right line, but normally he's a bottom-feeding guy where you can pass on the inside. His cart just isn't set up to run the top like you need to here tonight.
Yeah, I'm just tickled pink, as they say, for Ronnie Carroll here coming out on top. He's brave, or are we 10 to go? Is that where we're sitting here? 10 to go here.
10 laps to go in this Josh Long Memorial. Stacey Abrams is already complaining that Capello didn't get enough there and wants more money for winning this race. So we'll see what happens.
The gap between the two front drivers is equivalent to the gap in her front teeth here as Carroll just keeps pulling away here. Good run for him tonight. Capello can't do anything with him right now.
Well, even with the horsepower of Maxine Waters behind Dylan Capello, he still cannot get that lead from Ronnie Carroll. Ronnie Carroll out here putting on a clinic in a long race. Alfredo Hidalgo just letting everybody go by as the Ukraine flag is waved at him. But, man, we get this 5 to go caution. It's about to get real.
Yeah, Ronnie Carroll needs to, weave his way through some lap traffic, because Capello's right there to pounce if things don't go his way, and it almost did right there.
Yeah, interesting to see these guys all trying to make 71 laps without falling out of the seat. But Ronnie Carroll, like we said, making it happen, and Capello's right there. So we get this 5 to go caution. It'll be interesting to see what happens. There it is, 5 to go. We should have thrown the five to go. Made sure it was like lap 69 or something. It was Gage Payne.
Yeah, you should have thrown a lap 69 caution.
There we go. 5 to go. Carroll took the top, JZ. It's an interesting strategy.
It's where the speed's been, but Capello cut it down quick, was able to put the slide job on Carroll, as Carroll's now got to contend with Ayers. Carroll throws in the blinker, turns underneath, gets by Capello into turns 1 and 2, feeds him the right side. We have a new leader heading off of 2.
Watch out. There is nobody doing anything nice at the back of the field. Air is pushed up by the 6 car. Here comes Talges. Jeremy Murphy about to break into
Jeremy Murphy. He's on the inside. He's on a tear. He's in the top 5. He wants a little bit more as Ayers continues to fall back tonight.
Lap 69 leader is still Ronnie Carroll being chased by Dylan Capello. The battle right now is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They're a mess right now. Lap 70, one more lap to go for Ronnie Carroll. The old man might pull it off, and a big right turn by Josh Long in the Josh Long Memorial.
Coming off of turn 4, Ronnie Carroll's going to end the drought and take the win at the Josh Long Memorial.
Your 3rd annual Josh Long Memorial winner, Ronnie Carroll, down here in Victory Lane. Van Unit 38 car had one heck of a show going on there.
Oh, yeah. I thought he had me there for a little bit. We just biding our time, 71 laps. So it's a good bit of laps to turn and just pick our right moment to make our move. And it stuck. So we're pretty good.
How nervous was you there with that last 5 to go caution? Some people behind you might not be that friendly to you.
Oh, I figure they wouldn't be. I can't stand the 5 to go, but it makes it fun. Like I said, we were pretty fast. I knew as soon as we could get clear, we'd probably take off from them. We were better on the long runs. I think we had a little better handling cart than anybody. So as long as we got clear, we were good.
Who'd you like to thank you up and get down here, Ronnie?
I want to thank my family, everybody here, watching me race. Let me come out. Don't give me too much grief when I come race. So.
Well, they really ain't going to give you no grief now. You just parked it here in Victory Lane.
Oh, yeah. Well, tech ain't over with yet, so we'll see how far Eddie goes with it.
So you're saying you're illegal?
No, I'm not illegal.
Okay.
But I'm not illegal, but we'll see what they'll say is illegal.
All right, Ronnie Carroll, your winner here for the Josh Long Memorial. Dylan Capello?
Yeah.
Deli Meat, Dylan Capello, 2nd place finish here. Why didn't you rough him up more than you did? You might could be standing over there right about now.
I know. I was going to, if I could get back to him there, I was going to try to, but I drove him straight up on that restart there, and I don't know. He got right back by me, and then the motor didn't have what it had at the first 5 laps, but it was fun. We had a good battle there for sure. It was going to be hard to get by me, and then he kind of ran me up the track, but it was all good, clean racing, you know, so it was fun.
What is it with you and Chris? Y'all win a championship last week, and y'all just come out here to run 2nd this week.
I know. We got all of our good luck out of the way in Phoenix, but we'll take it, you know. It's always fun coming out to Millbridge, though. We have a good time out here. A little bit cold tonight, but we'll take it.
Yeah, it's a little bit nipply out here at the Millbridge Speedway, but Deli Meat, 2nd place finish here at the Josh Long Memorial. Jeremy Murphy, a 3rd place finish. I don't know where he come from because honestly, I was just watching the top 2. So, how was it out there, bud?
Bud, it was a blast. It was a lot of beating the bang, of course, early. You guys moved back. That 5 to go really helped out. On the long run, it was really good. But, yeah, I think I was 5th going into 1 and 2 there. And I don't know exactly what happened, but it looked like he was going to the fence. But, yeah, it was a good job. I can't complain. I got to thank my buddy Chuck for putting me in the cart. It's his, brand new. And so the 2nd race out on it, 1st for me. So can't complain. Had a great time. Thank you.
5th to 3rd, they said wham bam, and he said thank you, ma'am. Murphy's 3rd place finish here at the Josh Long Memorial.
Heavy Pro Cup feature, Greg Beef Tips Molyneux comes out of retirement. He's going to be on the SRI pole with Brian Shaw on the outside.
We're number 2, Damian Jameson, Adam Wilcox.
Row 3, Jeremy Jingles and Leighton Seville.
Good. Yeah, I'm not even going to try that. Aston Johnson in the next one.
Andrew Fuller and Landon Smith.
Row 6 has got Travis Brown, a.k.a. Moonhead, who you iRacing fans may be familiar with.
I don't know if they got on the mic or not. 390, whatever. Same rules we were running all year. The drivers, though, got to weigh 200 pounds.
If you ain't fat, you ain't allowed.
If you're almost a type 2 diabetic, come race. Beef tips one step closer.
I love
He's on the front row for tonight's
the
race.
banner on the outside of the track too. Right as you said that, it was perfect timing.
Yeah, hits close to home for these drivers.
What's your order at Cookout?
Man, I'm just a jumbo burger and fries, and maybe some chicken nuggets if I'm feeling ultra part of this class.
Yeah, I mean it depends on what time of night, but like most of the time I'm a tenders, strip tray, tray nug, tray dog. I'm a tray dog guy, and you know if I'm feeling extra 200 plus, chocolate malt.
Woo! Yeah. Jay-Z, I know you don't have it up there. What's your favorite McDonald's order late at night?
Oh man, dude, I'm not even gonna go McDonald's. I'm saying this now with all seriousness, right? Like if you could see me right now, you'd see my face as my man Brian Shaw feeds the right front to the guy in front of him. I just had that new BK Royale chicken sandwich, the bacon Swiss one. It blew my mind. I opened the wrapper. It looked like it did in the commercials. Like there's a soft glow on it. I heard a as I opened it, and it was the best chicken sandwich I have had to date. Better than Chick-fil-A, better than Popeyes, better than KFC. As Brian Shaw showing absolutely no regard for safety, giving beef tips the right side of his go-kart, trying to get to P1. All that hard work in the shop's paying off. Just like that chicken sandwich from BK, he's P1 right now.
Throwing some bitch slapping around. It's an international slap contest out here in the Heavy Pro Cup feature tonight. A lot of back bumpers getting beat on, a lot of sides getting thrown, and Beef Tip's not having it. He's getting back to the inside on Shaw in a battle for the lead.
Well, these boys are a lot like the old cut motors from the early 2000s, late 90s. You know, they take a couple laps to get wound up. You know, there's a lot of weight to get moving, and once it gets moving, you know, there's a lot of momentum, and it looks like Tips had the momentum to get back by Shaw there. Just got it rolling on the top a little bit more, and Shaw trying to hold off, I don't know who's 67, don't really care either. Shaw's trying to get that moving on the top and get back up on that second spot on the podium.
Wilcox pretty free there, Jay-Z. He's in the 67. There you go. Just more domestic violence here in the back of the pack. It's that's the name of the game.
These guys are going to get an NFL contract before long if they keep it up. You know what I mean? But Wilcox there, he's making the bottom work. The bottom's been off all night long. The high line's been where you want to be. Look at that. Look at Shaw looks like absolute junk in the middle in 3 and 4, but he's still hanging on to that outside line here, even with Wilcox trying to protect the bottom.
Did they already get the free college education with the NFL?
Probably did.
Ukraine flag.
Ukraine flag out being thrown for that pink thing. Park that piece of shit. Whatever it is, it's not even fast enough to hang in this class. Whoa! Cole hits the left rear of Crossroads Kid Landon. Man, there's just a lot of guys with a lot of low talent and a lot of low expectations here tonight.
I think.
Where's Moonhead?
I think Auto.
Have we found Moonhead?
I think Auto Lube and Repair stands to make a pretty buck tonight, having to straighten out all these chassis and fix all this body work. There's a lot of repair that needs to go on here. Is that PRC numbered chassis there, the 811, which that 811 is it's a sacred number in the dirt racing community. I don't know if that's like a 2-year-old chassis they bought off of someone as we got one looped in the infield here.
The one cart goes around. It's going to bring out the caution. Yeah, Austin Yarborough, I think, ran that at the All-Star race one year here. And it's great when it's mailbox numbers. Nothing says legit operation than the mailbox numbers as the green flag is out.
Ugh. Got that
Tips out to the lead again, getting shoved by Brian Shaw. Man, if that Beef Tips operation gets the dub here tonight, I am definitely going to be there for the win party, but he is not. Runs Brian Shaw down to the infield, not having any of it. He said, I'm going to get that champagne. I'm going to spray it. I'm getting those titties no matter what. Beef Tips out to the lead again.
Tips is driving like he got up to the Zaxby's menu and they said, we're out of chicken tonight. He is driving pissed off. His hair is on fire as the one car is having an additional issue tonight.
We got a stern wheel out on the racetrack.
I think that's Alex Kirk. I think I got the graphic wrong. I think that's Alex Kirk having a rough night there in the one.
Who's Moonhead?
Here we go. Moonhead is the 3. I don't know where he is. Green flag's out.
Did he take the green or was he a scratch?
Oh, no, he's there. He's right in front of that pink card that got the Ukraine flag.
That big piece of shit. Okay.
Outside Leighton Sibley, the PR guy for Petty GMS Motorsports. Back green. Gotta love Craig Crossroads Smith's kid out here running. The top 3 up here. Wilcox can do.
Oh!
Beef Tips goes around. Oh, unreal. Unfortunate chain of events right there. And now he's stuck. Let's take a look at it again. Take a look at that again.
High-centered like his old lady. Oh.
He was just the end of the centipede on that one, man. It wasn't even him that got touched first. He just got touched last and sent to the infield.
Trying to win the race, having a good run, just tough break.
That's that one's on Wilcox here as we come back to Kyle's box and he gives him the green flag.
A lot of carts here. These guys are a little out of control. Watching Moonhead up to 4th.
Tips shoving Moonhead up, trying to get him up on the podium.
I love how high Moonhead's sitting in his go-kart. You can tell that like someone just gave him a go-kart and said, "Here, run this." And it's not even close. His Beef Tips sends it down the inside. We're 4 wide and 3 and 4 as we come to the tampon. The white flag is out.
White flag out. We've got a lot of abuse going on in the back of the field. Adam Wilcox, coming off a 4, is going to take home his first DNQ victory. Let's go down and talk to the first-time winner here in the DNQ series.
Adam Wilcox down here victory lane. Went from the outhouse to the penthouse with one swift move in turn number 3 and 4. Man, when Beef Tips and Shaw got together, you were just ultimate opportunist. What was your view sight there?
I mean, unfortunately, I hate it because I think I kind of drove in there and helped cause that mess. But I hate it for Beef Tips because that was his race to win. But ultimately, we're sitting here in victory lane, so it's still a good day all in all.
Yeah, definitely a good day, but sometimes it's better to be looking than good sometimes.
That's right. We got 2 of our 3 carts here on the podium, so good day.
Everybody but Beef Tips here on the podium. Adam Wilcox, your winner here at Millbridge. Damian Jinks, a second place finish. Could have been a 4th or 5th if Beef Tips wouldn't have got spun, but glad to be up here on the podium, I guess.
Yeah, it's good. I'd like to thank my cousin Adam, my uncle Larry, Cell State Choice Realty, SRI, DNQ Series, and Millbridge Speedway, of course. It's good to finally be up here. My cousin Adam and I work real hard. We've been to every race this year, and this 425 class bodes well for us as we're the big guys. So it's fun to come out here and know that we're close. So it's a good day.
Damian Jinks, second place finish here today at Millbridge.
Thanks, guys.
Third, Landon Smith, the third place finish. I guess you're kind of the outcast of the podium, not with this team, but third place finish.
Yeah, actually a really good finish comparing to our regular season finishes, which isn't bad. And actually, surprised we had that good of a finish. We got out here in qualifying. Chain popped off as soon as I got on, but glad to bounce back.
Landon Smith, third place finish here today at Millbridge.
Fit Stop Performance USAC Series, Adam Welsh and Mike Contarino, SKE on the front.
Run number 2, Dick Timmons and Ivan.
Row 3, we got Dick Turnier and Bubba Long.
Moback.
Steven Towges and Rick Crucifulli, Spaghetti Bender.
Zach Thompson and Dustin Cave.
Oh, yeah. USAC Series, Fit Stop Performance USAC Series. Champ Buggy Chassis, Clone Engines, 425.
Bro,
sure.
I need to stop by.
And Moback running these shit boxes? Wow.
Oh, yeah. They're like stepbrothers.
They are, yeah.
They're like the movie Step
I
Brothers.
need to go to Fit Stop Performance. I chopped up 2 trees today with my chainsaw, and I feel like I could just die right now. Like my shoulder's gonna fall out of sockets. Maybe they can salvage this fat piece of shit for another 10 years or something like that. We'll see.
Your wife
would sit up. She sure would. She doesn't appreciate me sitting on top of her for 4 minutes.
Stamina. Pit stop performance could probably give you some stamina as well in that department. You never know.
It's so sweaty. It's not comfortable.
Jay-Z, I noticed something in the front of this field. They all have left-hand sides, and the back of the field doesn't. So I know that we had talked about some aero stuff before we did this broadcast, which we'll comment on later. It seems like the aero game is really stepping up here in USAC, and you're going to get left behind if you're not part of it.
The flat carts don't have the real estate to make that side force, right? There's a couple of manufacturers out there that have tried to do some of this Camarino here in V2. We got two around. They have instead of a race spindle, they got a bent spindle now in that 44.
Yeah, they just hit tips really hard. That was the male version of scissoring there off of 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Vertebrae
Friendly
6 and
fire
7
is what
are
that's
of
called
grave
in
concern right now.
Friendly fire is what that's called in the industry.
The industry.
I don't think Zach Thompson has run more than 5 laps in DNQ, but enters all the races because he gets wrecked like lap 1 every time. Not his fault that time. We're back green there.
Look at that cutesy cage on the
USAC feature.
what is that, 43 car, that black and yellow thing?
Oh, no!
God.
Just can't get her shit together tonight. Every first couple laps of the features, Ivan Gumastad goes around a little bit.
Oh, that was good.
Just,
President of Ukraine?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, look at that cutesy
he's
cage.
the ambassador
He's got like the
to
little wick thing on the top. That was in the tunnel for sure.
Little nameplate for sure.
They
Absolutely.
didn't know what they were doing because they got that big old like airplane wing nameplate on the top, probably creating lift, but whatever. They tried.
That nameplate is like the Champ Kart version of a big bar, soft spring, whatever. Did I say that right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. It's like the same thing. Like that 43 kart right there, that nice rounded cage that has a nice low coefficient of drag here as we have the yellow lights on again one more time.
Yeah, not really sure what it's for there. Some shit happened there in the backstretch between Dustin Cade and Ivan Gumastad. Needs a little blue on that yellow body between the two of them. Let's see if we can see what happened between those guys on the backstretch. Oh, yeah.
Got turned.
Clear.
Clear.
Turned up. Look at the 2's left rear. That looks pretty ridiculous. Green flag. We are back underway. You see half the tire inside the bodywork. That's the Millbridge house cart back out here making another debut. Look at
that shit box is still going.
You can't even see the tire on the front side. I don't know if that's skew or I don't know what the hell's going on there. It's kind of weird. Yes, it is still going. Not everybody's wrecked the shit out of it.
Well, nobody's been able to put it inside the top 5 yet either, so.
Who was the Penske driver that was the IndyCar driver that ran all that skew back
Sam
when the crab walk was the thing? Sam Hornish, that's right, yep.
Yeah, had the fucking tractor ball on the axle. God.
That is fucking no.
Oh,
that's like Kerry Lake's campaign right there in the outside wall.
Yeah.
Just didn't go down pit road this time. Man, this is taking forever, all these features. There you go, Adam Welsh and Mike Connerino. Nothing's changed in the front of this field. Blake Harris just wants to go home. It's cold, you could tell.
Yeah.
Mo back in that nice chassis off the fence there a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting to see all the theories and the aero balances and all this stuff. Now we got preseason Thunder test coming up there January, I want to say January 5th, before the Miltona race. And that's when you're really going to see the testing go on. Be interesting to see what comes out there.
When is the Miltona race?
It is January 8th.
You made it the same weekend as Chili Bowl, you idiot?
We can watch on
idiot.
Idiot. We're going to be done early. We'll be done early. It starts at 1.
Nobody's going to be there.
So, yeah. We'll watch it on the big screen. Chili Bowl will be on the big screen.
Well, you're not going to have commentary.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
Tough break.
You haven't fucking half the year.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
Not like we're relying on, Bubba
Who is that? Ivan the Terrible?
Goes for a No, it's Bubba Long right there. We should start naming guys like the Iron, like back in the 90s and 2000s wrestling names. The Iron Sheik goes around there.
The IRS.
Yeah. Erwin R. Shyster. Now, I'm going to point out there are some guys that are out of line on these restarts. Don't do that shit at Miltona because we'll put you in the back. This is not a points race. Still should put the guys in the back. It didn't matter if they're in the back or not, but don't do this shit.
Who's driving the house car? Who's
what's
driving
that?
the two?
Austin Thompson, I think, something like that.
Yeah,
Doing
which
great.
one's Dick Timmons?
Doing a good job. Second.
Oh,
of course.
Dick's on the rise.
Dick's
Watch
on
out.
the rise. Dick's coming hard.
Big solid top vein running the high line. He's doing pretty good tonight.
Big Dick's back in town. We could go all
right,
day.
Beach Louise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, somebody's got to hold down the drag strip, and it's definitely Chalou. Iron Sheik back up to fourth, as there's some domestic violence going on to the 2 cart there as well. Blake Harris says 5 to go. Thank goodness I want to get out of here. 2 features after this one. There it is, our 5 to go caution. Blake Harris looks so excited.
The drag strip's
to
a
be waving
wild
flags
place
here
between
tonight.
Chalou, Dick Timmons, Young's Motorsports. There's a whole lot going on down there.
I forgot that Dick Timmons was in there. Green flag Nitro in there as well. So
yeah.
I mean, now that McCann's gone, I don't know what those guys are going to do for
Yeah.
lunch. I mean, they have to pack their own. They'll get some old-ass chicken that they took out of the fridge. It's at least 3 days old with some soggy asparagus in it that their wife just refuses to throw out. And they end up eating it for lunch. What do you got? I got chicken cutlet and potato. It's on its last leg. I'm going to eat it for lunch today in the microwave. It's been sitting out
Microwave it for
ambient
5 minutes
temperature
to make
for
sure you
4
won't get
hours, but I'll
sick,
be
but
all
then
right.
it's like a hockey puck.
Yeah, this shit was ready to be thrown away
2 to
3
go,
days
man.
ago, but somehow ended up in my lunch.
And in the drag strip, those guys are freaking microwaving that shit uncovered, splattering it all inside the microwave. Pick it out, and they don't give a shit because there's about 9 layers of everybody else's
The
lunch in
bat
there.
soup kind of just balances itself out.
Quite. Oh yeah, yeah. Adam Welsh off of 4, got all those side panels and arrow. He's gonna win. It's
oh easy.
Melt your glove too.
Oh yeah.
It started smoking and I looked up.
Did you hear me? Did you hear me when I hear you yelling over
there? Adam Welch, definitely happy to be down here in the SRI Stock Car Shield Aluminum Victory Lane. Not a lot of challenge there except for that 5 to go caution. Dick was right there, but you still had to class the field.
Yeah, we built this car for Kyle for the DNQ championship race, and I joked all week about I was building my car to beat me. Well, he did. So this week he wasn't able to be here, so I took his car. And it's a bad unit. It drives real good. That Plus Power Speed Clinic was on rails. The clutch started messing up. It was engaging like 6,000 RPM, so it never fully engaged until I got to the start-finish line. And it was a little tough, but at the end of the day, I knew we had what we needed to get it done, and it feels good to do it.
I'll tell you what, man, I don't know if you can give this cart to him back, can you?
Yeah, I can give it back. We'll just build another one.
There we go. Adam Welch, your winner here with the USAC.
I heard you.
Dick Timmons, of course, he can't feel his hands, but of course, Dick, unfortunately, come up a couple inches short here.
I'll take it. We've been really bad when it's wet like this, so we made a lot of gains this week and just got a bad push on entry. We get out of it, and we'll be right there with them. But, man, it's cold, and just glad it's over, honestly.
How you think I feel slinging them flags? I'm about the same boat y'all are.
Yeah, it's it don't get no warmer out there, but it's fun. I mean, when you're going, you don't think about it, but as soon as you get in here and stop, I had to have Jess undo my helmet there because I couldn't even feel my fingers. So we got a lot better in this wet, cold stuff, and feeling good going into the winter deal here at Millbridge with some speed and get a little better next week.
Well, go warm up your hands by a campfire. Go eat you some beanie weenies.
Thank you, sir.
Dick Timmons, second place finish. Well, Bubba, third place finish here I bet you got to be excited right now. You happier than a tick around a bunch of vampires.
Yeah, I got to thank Mark Durgan. He called me last night and asked me to run it, and I was like, sure. And it was actually pretty fast. It kind of surprised me. I'd never expected to be up there running with them like that, so I'm happy with the way the night turned out.
You think if we'd have put an actual driver in the cart, we might have it in a
Yeah,
different
if
lane?
somebody was a little bit more talented than me, they could have probably won it with that. But I was about to dick shit up when they spun out there on the front stretch. But it is what it is. I still come back to third, so I'm happy.
All right, Bubba, third place finish.
Y'all have a good one.
On my job.
The Winston Cup Series All-Star Race. Adam Welsh on the pole, do his pit stop with Chris Bailey on the outside pole.
Row number 2, Mike Contarino and Bobby Showtime.
Row 3, previous victor Chris Lawson and Mark Ellis in the 125.
Bob WeID Man and Todd Chaffee, who's been running well this year.
Oh, Father Time, Curtis Markham and Grayson Brookshire.
Ed Weinstein, not Harvey Weinstein, and Craig Crossfed Smith, whatever his name is.
Whatever. He's got a plane that goes to private islands.
He sure does.
410, clones, no prep, whatever.
I'm pretty sure Epstein's got a church right down the street from me.
Yeah,
Showalter.
I got ideas. I was leaving it as ideas.
Yeah,
I'm not
I feel
vocalizing.
Like, yep. You might kill yourself. You gotta watch.
That's right.
DNQ announcer hangs himself.
Yeah. Body looks nothing like him in the autopsy.
Right.
I got down the rabbit hole the other night on YouTube, and somebody was like saying Michael Jackson's still alive and he's this guy, and they had good arguments for it. Just there's some weird stuff on the internet.
Probably living with Tupac and Biggie, right?
Yeah, and Elvis. We're on board with Showalter. Is do a little side by side. You see what's going on the racetrack. You see what's going on the helmet. Trying to hold off Mark Ellis, who's on the outside. These guys race hard here in the Cup Series. It's another level. You know, we say that, okay, Pro Cups here, but these guys are actually the best here in DNQ. And you're seeing that, and when the guys who try to make the jump, like Lawson and a couple other ones, it's tough for them to do that. This is a 40-lap feature here tonight, and this is the All-Star guys were locked in if you won a race or got in a pole. And the rest of them had to race their way in, so that's what Grayson Brookshire did. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah. Showtime's still free. Did not make the right adjustments after that first race earlier. He was fighting that same issue first race of the night with the small tires. Still fighting that loose issue here with big money. And he's about to lose that 5th spot to Brookshire.
We talked about drivers having to share chassis between these different classes, and I get it, right? I've got a big tab at the strip club too, and those guys will break your legs if you don't catch up. But at the same time, if you want to compete, if you want to be at the top level of DNQ, maybe you need to strongly consider having separate chassis for the small rear tires like Dash and the big rear tires we have here in Escape Pool Cleaning Cup.
Now, there is a halfway break in this race, so we're going to run 20 laps. Take a break for 5 minutes. You can change air pressure, tires, whatever you want to change. And then we're going to go back at it for 20 laps. So we'll see who's the comer and goer, and then who's going to make some big changes that makes the biggest swing for them. So Showalter has a chance to tighten that thing up underneath the caution as Brookshire now battling with Chris Lawson for that 4th position.
Now, Bill, these guys in the Cup Series, they've got the full-blown badass clone motors. They're carrying a couple of extra mile an hour into the corner. Do you think there's a concern with these tread blocks heating up and losing that edge too quickly in a feature race like this?
Oh, I think Brookshire does right there. That just answered your question, Jay-Z.
Yeah, too much camber. That's what Hoosier just told us. Too much rear camber. Blue right rear.
Yeah.
That's that same spot. The black ice patch is a real thing out there. Saw Jen Welsh lose it over there earlier, and Grayson Brookshire does the same thing there. Now, we talked to Grayson Brookshire earlier, and he's run a lot of big money races. He said DNQ's a different animal, and these guys are really good who run in it. So he said the top guys are some of the best, so it's hard to beat as we are back green.
Chris Bailey absolutely sleeping on the start there. Got his lunch taken by, who is that, Bad Kitty? Bad Kitty back out front. He's got one dub under his belt in the cage card already. Chris Bailey can't find the back fast enough as Lawson tries to get underneath him. He's the meat in the sandwich between him and Bobby Showtime. Showtime takes the top. Looks like once the tire pressures come up on that thing, got the splitter off the ground, and that thing's starting to be hooked up a little bit.
He got a heat cycle in them tires, and it just tightened them right up, didn't it?
Sure did.
Man, old Bobby Showtime, as free as that go-kart is, if he can keep it running straight, he's making some speed as he's fighting on the outside for the second spot. I know that's the old Connorino car from earlier tonight, but is that him driving it in this class?
Oh, yeah. Look at the guy in the seat. He's a little husky.
A little thick.
He's thick. With 3 Ks.
I like my go-kart
Showtime
drivers
shit
like I like my president, real thick.
Showtime shit has come to life. That thing, we had a caution, and all of a sudden it came to life.
Lawson hit a patch of NDF in the middle of turn 4 and took out
Lizzo goes around there in 3 and 4 and got the caution. It's thick 30. Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Oh, man. I am going to get punched in the face at the first DNQ race this year.
You know, I want to call out Mark Ellis for sucking tonight. I don't know if it's just the track conditions, but he's got like a Jeb Bush type of campaign going on tonight where he's just running in the back, even though the expectations are very high for him, as he normally has some speed as someone goes sending to the infield.
Chris Bailey went around, our champion from this year. The weather's throwing a lot of people off. There's a couple people here. Oh the back kitty goes around. What a break for him. Tough break for Welsh. He was leading this thing. That puts Lawson in the lead. Todd Chafee.
Yeah, it looked like the bleeder might have fell out of the right rear on that.
Ryan
here it is.
About that.
We're at the halfway break. We're going to do some adjustments on these carts, JZ. And what do you do here if you're... I mean, Showalter looked like he came to life there. Do you mess with it at all, or do you leave it?
I don't know. It's a long race. You'll have a chance to reset your pressures, but remember, the tires are hot right now. So you can drop a pound, but it's pretty much going to stay there. We're not going to... really wholesale. It's not like you're setting it to control how much the pressures grow. Maybe someone that's really out to lunch is make a washer adjustment left front, maybe move that spindle down a little bit to put some more weight on that left front and the right rear, or maybe move that spindle up to take some weight off that left front and the right rear and make that right front work a little bit harder, especially if you're pushing off a 3 and 4.
Let's go down and talk to Adam Welsh, who just got spun. He's drinking a beer as he's doing this interview at the halfway break. See this?
Halfway break, having a nice little cold beverage here for Adam Welch. After getting shit canned there, coming to the checkered flag here for the halfway break, might as well ease the edge off a little bit.
It's better than getting out and yelling at somebody and just being pissed off. A little calm down attitude adjustment, and we got our work cut out for us now, but we got 20 laps. That's the whole feature, so we'll see what we got. We'll throw some air to her because I think we're in the track too hard, and see what we got when we come out of this thing.
This thing is in prime condition right now. This thing could walk away as a shit box here as Adam Welch starts to move people out of the way.
We see the drivers talking about their changes. Lawson and David Gilliland right there talking about what they're going to do in this car. These guys race hard no matter what. They won the Truck Series championship with Zane Smith this year, as a crew chief Chris Lawson did. But, man, these guys are racers talking it over.
Lawson, who couldn't get it done earlier tonight, trying to figure out what it's going to take, and you see Gillian trying to teach him a little bit about how to drive. And although Lawson beat him the last time those two were on the track, let's go down and see what they're going to do.
Well, we think he's the leader, but going from the outhouse to the penthouse after a couple people decide to get wrecked down there, you're in a good position here with 20 laps to go.
Yeah, I feel all right about it. It's a little free, but it's going to be about who hits who. I mean, it's actually really, really slick out here right now. So if you get just a little bit sideways and touch the guy next to you in front of you, they're going around or you're going around. So it's a handful, but it's fun.
Well, Chris Lawson's going to start moving people out of the way if they start bumping into him here for the win.
Well, the carts and drivers are going over their last-minute changes here in the Cup Series All-Star race. We'll be right back after this message.
Hey, Jimmy, I was following you in practice, and it looks like you're kind of messing up turn 3. Now, if I was you, I would try to arc it out a little more.
Hold on one second. I'm going to need it again. so sorry. What were we saying?
Good talk, Jimmy.
Nextel helps NASCAR fans get things done with the new Motorola Buzz. One powerful phone, two powerful networks. Nextel, only from Sprint.
DNQ Karting Series All-Star Race, DNQ Nationals, featuring the Josh Long Memorial, live from the Millburn Speedway. Very live. So you're watching these guys do the choose cone. After the halfway break is over, who do you think is going to make the biggest gain here, Jay-Z?
Man, I'm looking at that field, and I think Connerito's got a nice hot rod. He was up front earlier. He had some bad luck here to get sent to the back. I think we should keep our eye on him for the fans at home.
I'm keeping my eye on Bad Kitty Adam Welsh. He killed that Coors Light. Look at him. He goes to the inside. He's taking people's lunch, their checkbook, every damn thing, wedding rings. He's making it his.
The Pawn Shop 71 machine, the aisle pawn cart there of Adam Welsh, doing a great job as we go on board with Robert Showalter. Look at this freaking mess.
Showtime waiting for the wreck to happen in front of him as Ellis is on the outside. Bad Kitty Adam Welsh putting that ice cold Rockies to good use. He's diving it on in there. He's going to clear out the field for Bobby Showtime. Showtime's going to end up getting on the podium.
Grayson Brookshire must have made some really good adjustments because he is in second place right now, Jay-Z, doing very well.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you dump a little bit of nitro in your fuel tank. All of a sudden, you take off, right? It's like that vote dump at 1 a.m. All of a sudden, you're looking good. As Weidman's the meat in the sandwich, the meat in the middle here. Bad Kitty in a unfortunate position, but those mountains are blue. He's locked in for to pop the top and go on the high side.
Yeah, you know what? Grayson Brookshire is one blue stripe away on that cart from getting $150 trillion. So if he put a blue stripe on that thing, it probably would have helped his budget out a little bit under this caution.
Chris Bailey trying to get back to the front. He was started up front and just doesn't have the handle on it tonight. Looks like he still wasn't able to make the right changes as Bad Kitty tries to move back to the inside of that machine, beating the back bumper off it, shoving him down into the corner.
Oh, Bob Weidman.
Oh, no! Whoa!
I think he is.
Harvick goes
splitter
around.
fluttered there a little bit. Messed up the aero balance. Chris Lawson.
Wow.
Thank goodness he listens to David Gilliland because his shit is on rails right now. He's reaching down there, grabbing his balls and putting them on the dash. Did you see that?
That's what happened.
You know, the
saw
rumor is
when we were
that he's got a hole cut in the left front, the bottom left front of that nose cone to draw the air from. So when he's blowing that air across the engine block, he's really creating a vacuum point on the left front of that go-kart, so you can run a little bit more.
Oh! Irvin just hit the wall.
Oh! God.
What a wreck. That was a driver's side.
The window net is down.
Wall.
His head's moving. I don't know. It might have been popped off. I don't
Driver's
know.
side.
Is his head popped
Driver's
off?
side impact. Thank goodness for DNQ Initiatives. What happened there? Jay-Z, what was that?
Something broke. I don't know if he just had a tack welded spindle on one side, but that was, it just took a hard right turn like someone finally met Rush Limbaugh, and he just hit the wall like a ton of bricks.
Unbelievable. Thank goodness he's all right thanks to DNQ Initiative safety-wise. Matt Green, Grayson Brookshire going after Lawson, who's got that fan blowing right across these nuts as Chris Bailey hits that black ice there in 3 and 4.
The only thing that could have made that hit safer was if the front clip had 45 holes drilled in it.
They took 7 bars out of the front clip and may have helped.
Yeah.
Never mind the bumper that's got 7 supports on it made out of solid aluminum. Green flag, we're back underway. Grayson Brookshire gets on the left rear. He was having such a good run tonight. And that opens a door for Todd Chafee, who's going for the lead as he can't quite get it from Lawson.
Fastest tire guy in DNQ, about to take the lead, can't quite get past Lawson. Lawson says, do my tires, bitch, and make sure them sets are match perfect.
Where's the tire guy? He's a champion. Yeah, sure he is. Out on the lake, on the boat, when they say they're a champion. And Robert Showalter, Jay-Z, it just comes to life and it takes too long. Do you think he started on too low air?
He might have. It's like the blue parrot at 1 a.m. It just takes forever to get the night going as the caution's out here for 5 to go. I think he just set his pressures a little low. That right front hasn't seemed to be in the racetrack all night long. Lawson is in a catbird seat, as our from a Dimension DW would say.
Lawson a little free. That gives Todd Chafee a run, and he tried to cut under him. Lost all his momentum, and there goes the back kitty. And there goes Todd Chafee.
And Chafee.
Man. It's like a riot in St. Louis. Nobody's safe. Wills parks it.
Oh, poor people.
Bucket. Stay green.
Showalter getting after it here, trying to run the middle lane. It's working really well for him. I think he's just going to run out of time here on Lawson. Man, he's got it figured out. I mean, if he could maybe put a half a pound of air on all 4 tires of that caution, it probably would have been better off.
Woo!
He's wheeling the shit out of it, though. You got to give him
Sending
that.
it, that's for sure. Yeah, good thing Lawson listened to Gillian on this one, got the setup tuned in just right. Lawson, 2 more turns, 3 and 4. All he's got to do is hold that wheel straight, and he's going to take it home. Lawson will take the win. Second is going to go to Bobby Showtime.
Fuck it.
Chris Lawson, winner down here of the 40-lap main event. You said you liked that halfway break, kind of shook it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Something different. I think when you do it more often, for sure, and nothing else gives you a break because it gets brutal when you start getting on them long runs. But, man, it was a lot of fun right there. Those guys race extremely hard. Rough at times, but still pretty cool.
I'm just glad to see, of course, you got the championship last week. You run second all night, and you finally end up back in the winner's circle. So I guess you didn't use all your luck last week.
No, I don't think so. I definitely didn't pick the top on the last restart, so I did learn that, if nothing else. So that was cool. It was like I said, it was a lot of fun, and I don't know. I know what it felt like from where I was. I hope it was as good from second on back as I felt like it should have been.
Chris Lawson, your winner of the 40-lap Cup feature. Well, Robert Showalter, second place finish. Didn't even need a left side door to do it. Happened right there for the halfway break. Did it affect you any at all?
No, I actually think it made me go faster a little bit. This thing was good, and then we changed some air pressures at the halfway to go, and it came to life. I don't think I had anything for Lawson, but I'll take a second racing against the a championship crew chief, right? So, yeah. We scratched our heads and scratched our asses most of the day trying to figure out how to get this thing to turn and be set up, and we halfway figured it out during the race, so I'll take a second.
Second place finish and a lot of scratching here for the Showalter crew. Mike Contarino, a third place finish here. A little bit less than what you did to start out today, but still pretty good.
Yeah, I was pretty good. What kind of screwed me up, Lawson kind of got sideways, and I T-boned him and kept him straight, so I'll say I owe the credit goes to me for him winning because he stayed out front after that. But I worked my way back up to the field to third. I thought I could have had something for him, but I got too loose in the one on the last restart. But it was a good day. SK recharge. Nothing more to say there.
SK recharge, Mike Contarino, a third place combination. Not a winning combination, just third place.
National Championship War. Ryan Ayers with his fast pit stop on the pole. Johnny Kidwell on the outside pole.
Right over to Zach Fowler and the other Kidwell.
Matt Noyce and Alex Lacanada in the 2.
Past champion of the National Championship. There he goes, Garen Nash.
You fuckers still owe me a bottle of whiskey.
I asked you multiple times which one you wanted, and I never got an answer.
Oh, give me some Breckenridge.
Good choice.
Yeah. That's in the price range, right? That's in the DNQ budget.
Whatever. I don't know. That's fine. Whatever you want. That was the deal.
Then I'm going to take that back.
Yeah. You already said it. It's recorded. Done deal.
All right, whatever. $50. Yeah, it's fine. I don't want to break the bank. You know, you got to keep your investments strong.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right. Thomas Markham. Onboard camera for tonight. Another deal with a halfway break, so we'll see if anybody can dial their shit out at the halfway break, which seems to happen more often than people making the correct adjustment, JZ. Man, the drinks are strong tonight in the booth. Coming off of turn 4, the green flag underway for the DNQ National Championship All-Star race. This is the best of the best that showed up here tonight. And the 4 of Will Monroe is cheating really bad. So he did cross the line first, but not to ruin it for you for those at home. It's really bad. Like, could barely pull the engine over. So ignore him as the race goes on.
10 foot. Never heard of him.
Exactly. And you won't again. Blake Sibley spinning by himself. Self-spin there. Everybody else fairly legal within DNQ standards. Alex Lacanada, our national champion from last year, Jay-Z, just had one hell of a run there when it came playoff time.
He did. Sometimes it's just being hot at the right time, and he did. And again, as we talk about all night, he's on the high side. That seems to be the place to be as long as the guy on the inside doesn't use you all the way up. Like a money laundering system in the Ukraine here. But he's doing okay. The one thing is that black 2 as someone's around on the inside.
Leighton. Oh, no, that's Alyssa Russo. Goes around Leighton Sibley machine. That's Alex's girlfriend, believe it or not. Alex Lacanada's girlfriend out here trying to get some seat time.
Cutie.
Brings out the caution. All right. Going back green with John Kidwell now snaking away to the lead. And his brother, the Kidwells, man, they've been fast the last couple of races. They won the first and second the last national championship races, and these guys got something figured out here in the colder weather.
I've been reading and talking to some people in the pit lane. They think they've been experimenting with cutting and inserting their own crossbar under the seat. I know they've been trying to use some 049 tubing, really soften things up as we're 3 wide, and try to really trick the shit out of these go-karts to build something specific for these treads. As Lacanada's on the inside, he's trying to give Ayers everything he can handle. Again, he's the past national champion. He's good shit, but can't get it done. Ayers maintains that position.
Yeah, and you're talking about softening things up. I mean, nothing softens things up more than dating a chick that talks about climate change. That'll definitely soften you up as well.
I guarantee she has hairy armpits here. As we have some racing going on the front. The Kidwells, so those 3 letters in the front, much less than the 16 letters in some of the alternative lifestyles we're learning about lately. But the Kidwells and that 4 PRC chassis, that's the way to go tonight.
We'll see when they get out, Bill, and if one of them wins, we'll see what gender they decide to be and see if we have our first female winner.
Yeah, it's something you can't decide until they decide for you. And, we got one around in turn number 1. It looks like an Asian lady is parked in turn number 2.
Alyssa Russo, she ran go-karts when she was young. Let's take a look at this restart from Thomas Markham's view and from the outside camera up top the racetrack. Let's see what one of these crazy restarts looks like, Jay-Z.
It's a free-for-all. If there's someone on the outside, 8 tires are faster than 4. You got to do it. It's almost expected. The guy on the outside won't even punch you out in the pits anymore because it's just they expect they would do the same thing if it was them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like politics these days. He gets roughed up pretty good. Like Tina Turner in a marriage there to Ike. It's a black guy and he's falling back.
What's really strange is when we look forward, we see Lacanada with that taco neck in front of him. What's that doing to the cross percentage, and what's happening to that go-kart as they run through the middle of that corner, Jay-Z?
Well, it's tough. You want to keep that CG as low as possible, and the hot thing to do with go-karts is to tune with the tires, but there's no prep in these tread classes, so people are still learning. You can see that Monster Energy Ultra Black groove developing as Kidwell goes back to the front here, but the number 4 turns underneath. We'll see if we can get it done in 1 and 2. Maybe. Oh gosh, that's horrible. It's like an Antifa protest right there with someone upside down.
Ooh.
Zach Fowler goes for a flip on the front stretch. It's going to bring out the red flag.
Mostly peaceful flip.
Let's see what happened. He is not protesting climate change and sitting in the middle of the racetrack. He got flipped there. He got into Matt Noyce and got hit. That's a little bit of a scary wreck there coming off the corner. He's okay. So that DNQ safety initiatives, once again, I mean, that's nothing worse than that, getting hit with a tire while you're upside down.
You see all the body panels flying off those carts. That's just shedding energy. That's shedding all of the acceleration the body normally would take. That's what keeps these drivers safe here in the DNQ series. So all that by design looks a lot worse than it actually is. Driver gets out safely to drink another day.
Yeah, and they cut his pants, so he looks like a pirate.
Yar.
For some reason, he let him cut his pants. So Tristan Bruce involved in that as well. He's all right. Glad to see Zach Fowler is okay after that wreck. All right, Kidwell's and La Canada, who's got the taco neck out there. Green flag back underway. Now, you talked about the balance offset. I don't think there's much upstairs for Alex, so the weight transfer is probably not as much as you would think.
Yeah, you're probably right. When the helmet is the heaviest thing up there, I guess, we're really good. That left rear tire got a lot of cross weight in it to begin with as he gets shoved up the racetrack. But right now we're 3 wide for the lead. Kidwell brothers put, I don't know who's driving that number 4. Is that Chris what?
Will Monroe, but it's illegal as shit.
Oh, never heard of him. Okay. So the Kidwell brothers are battling for the lead. Those two have been working on their chassis like we talked about all year long. It looks like they finally got her tuned in, especially for the wet weather, or for the cold weather. Wet pussies. We got the ultra black groove. Everybody running right through the middle right there. Those two are putting some length between themselves and Mr. Tire himself, La Canada.
What cracks me up is we're halfway in this event coming out the red flag. The 4 car's cheating like a son of a bitch, and he can't even run with the Kidwell brothers. That's my favorite part about the whole story.
He's not cheating very good, is he?
No. The halfway break is underway. There's going to see what adjustments get done here, see if the Kidwells can keep their speed. If anybody's got speed secrets, as Thomas Markham parks his entry there. Got a lot of work to do on that machine. I mean, what do you even do right here, Jay-Z? I mean, you got a lot of time, but what do you do if you're all the way in the back?
I mean, it depends on how drunk your crew is. How many tools can they bring out, right? Most people just do a pound of air here, they take a pound of air out there. But if you want to get brave, you can move that right rear in or out. I know it's not really a popular thing to do in oval racing, but change that track width to delay how the weight transfers across. Air pressure right now. If you were dog shit before this, you're probably going to be dog shit after this as well.
Cut that off.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Ever dreamed of driving a real Cup car? Well, now you can. This is the fan controller.
What the? Tony, what are you doing? It's possessed.
That was completely inappropriate.
I'm out of here. Run, Sandy, run for your life!
What was that all about?
Welcome back to the DNQ All-Star Racing Nationals, featuring the Josh Long Memorial from the Millbridge Speedway. We're in our final feature of the night. We are choose coning after the halfway break. I got to take a piss, so hopefully this goes fairly quick. The drinks are flowing. The oil's plugged in. The gear's max hot. We're ready to make a Q lap here for these last couple laps as the green flag is back out. We've got a cheating son of a bitch on the front row with the Kidwells, La Canada, and Thomas Markham doing a very good job up in the top 5.
We bust on the Markhams a lot here. We call him back Markham, but he's given a past national champion all he can handle right now. I think it's one of those old adages of slow and steady wins the race. It's errors in the 71, right? Yeah, whatever, right? Sure. Like, yeah, who cares who signed that vote, that ballot on the bottom? It doesn't matter. We'll count it anyways. As Aris gives Markham everything he can handle. The Markhams have really come through, and that notebook's starting to make sense. I don't know if they have electricity at their shop now or what, but something's working out for them as we're on board, and that go-kart looks pretty sporty.
Racing behind the national champion, Alex LaCanada, with the taco neck, and he is going to make a move for him for the inside. And that's what I love about these tires is you can't just go to the bottom and blow by somebody. You
got to keep that momentum up. You can't scrub too much speed. We see that right foot never left the floorboard of that 15 car as we ride on board, finally getting to the inside of LaCanada. Can he make it stick? Trying to take the air off the left rear. He's trying to get him aero loose, but he can't seem to keep both hands on the wheel. I don't really know what's happening there. Couldn't get the pass done. Maybe if he would, concentrate on driving and not waving to his girlfriend, he could get it done.
Yeah, the field's getting a little spread out here. From 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th on back, LaCanada's really holding up the field, if you will. I can't remember who that is getting on the inside. It's someone in front of Markham. Markham's trying to feed in the right rear as we're 3 wide coming off the middle as we're on board with Thomas Markham. Bill, you've got a lot of experience in the aero tunnel. What do you think the Markhams have done to really gain speed, gain lap time here in the DNQ series?
It looks like they've done a lot of drafting studies, Jay-Z. That's what you spend most of your time on in the winter. It really doesn't account for anything more than you should pass on the inside. But it looks like they've really digested that data. They've learned how to make these cars turn better and pass on the inside, which he did. He got passed on the inside again by LaCanada. Looks like he's going to get passed again by whoever's in that 17. And maybe they just haven't been able to put the full package together as we got some left rear Pelosi jumping. Can't.
Yeah, Thomas Markham getting shuffled there. And it was having such a good run, and sometimes that happens in DNQ. You get somebody on your left rear and they just jumble you around. Tristan Bruce doing a great job in his first DNQ start. Ryan Ayers on his back bumper. Ayers not as strong as he was during that Dash Series race, but looks like Anthony Kidwell is just checked out on this field, making everybody else look silly here tonight. Had great adjustments.
Yeah, like Dan Bilzerian on Instagram, freaking Kidwell's just putting a hurt on everybody to the point we didn't want to talk about him anymore because he's got so many boobies in his face at this point. But the yellow's out. Is this the 5-to-go caution, Bob?
So far, so good.
Anthony Kidwell takes the green on the outside. Jonathan Stewart, the Amish running back there in third. LaCanada and Eric Yost in the next round. If you need some furniture, call Jonathan Stewart.
Ezekiel ready to take the lead.
Hold it wide open for 5 laps here.
Bill, will we ever see you back in the seat in the DNQ event?
Well, if the horsepower gets over 35 again, yes, I will. But until then, probably not.
You got to be in shape to run that much horsepower, as we're watching the Kidwells, who are fairly in shape.
Well, I wasn't in shape the first time, so what's the difference now? I got beat by a guy with 3 teeth and a lot of time.
Kidwell takes the white flag as doesn't look like anybody's going to touch Anthony Kidwell as he is out on his own. John's not even getting to his bumper. Coming off of turn 4, Anthony Kidwell is going to take the win. Let's go down and talk to Anthony.
Anthony Kidwell, second place finish. Back there during that red flag after that flip, you had people saying you was riding in your brother's shadow here, but now all of a sudden that thing got fast.
Yeah, I guess I woke up and slapped it around a little bit like she likes it, so I don't know. I just kicked it in the ass and tried to keep it going forward.
How about it, Anthony Kidwell, second place finish. All it needed was a little kick, and it's good to go. In the shadow now. Third place finish, bud.
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty decent in the beginning part, and then once that red flag came out, just never fired back off like it did, and we tried something at the halfway break and didn't really seem to work out, so we got some homework to do. But not a bad run. I mean, brother finished second, I finished third. I thought we were going to be okay there for a little bit, but I can't thank John Kinder at KPG and his Katana chassis. We're getting better each time we hit the track. Just got to knock it off and get me a win here soon.
Well, the Kidwell's coming up short, second and third here today in the 40-lap Predator race.
What a great night of racing we had here at the Nationals. Get to honor Josh Long, talk some shit about some people, and just have a good time. That's what DNQ is all about.
A lot of great racing here tonight. The track stayed intact for more laps than it's ever seen here tonight in DNQ. Every race we saw was really good. 3, 4, 5 wide. We had 71 laps. Attrition played a role. Experience played a role. And the best cars here won tonight, just like they do every night. We got a good race in with big horsepower and very little rubber. We got an idea of what that would be like. We saw some great racing there. So I can't wait for next year at Miltona.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll like a Trojan Ultra Thin. I had all the feeling here tonight. I knew what was going on, even though I felt safe. All the initiatives here in DNQ, it really helped keep the drivers on all 4 tires. Josh Long Memorial, great to celebrate his life and talk a lot about one of the stalwarts of the DNQ series. I'm excited to see what happens in 2023.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in Miltona. Another big one coming up here in 2023. For Bill and JC, I'm Bob Duato. We'll see you guys at the Miltona 50 in January.